Today we have Vidyashree with us, who has recently completed her CCNA and CCNP course. So hi Vidya.
Hello, sir.
So Vidya, first tell me about yourself.
Hello, sir. My name is Vidyashri V.
Mhm.
I have completed my graduation under BCA domain, that is Bachelor's of Computer Application in Christ Academy Institute for Advanced Studies. So when I was studying this course, I came across a subject named Computer Networks.
Mhm.
In this subject, I understood how networks will work. So that was one of the most fascinated part of that subject, due to which I grew my interest towards this domain or background and wanted to have my career or grow my career through this domain.
Okay, good. So first tell me, what do you mean by this term networking?
So networking is the process or collection of interconnected devices
Mhm.
in order to communicate with each other.
So can you tell me the differences between some devices like routers and switches?
So routers is both of them are intelligent device. Router is a L3 device, switch is a L2 device.
Mhm.
Router is responsible for network to network communication. For example, if you want to have communication from one network to another network, router comes into picture. Whereas a switch is responsible for LAN communication. Within local area network, if you want to have communication, then a switch is responsible for that communication. Then router uses IP address for communication, whereas switch is having MAC address for LAN communication. And these are some of the differences that can be taken into consideration, sir.
Okay, fine. So how many broadcast domain do we have with the single switch?
A single broadcast domain in a single switch.
Okay. What do you mean by VLAN?
VLAN is the process of dividing large broadcast domain into single logical domain. It's called as VLAN.
So what could be the range of VLAN numbers?
The range of VLAN numbers, by default there is one VLAN, and then 0 and 4095 are reserved, which is for VMware, and then comes from VLAN 2 to 1001 VLAN is standard range of VLANs. Then 10022 to 1005 is FTDI and token ring VLANs. By default, it is present in the switch, and then comes 1066 to 4094, that is extended range of VLAN. If a switch is using VTP version 3, then extended range of VLANs can be used.
Okay. What do you mean by this native VLAN?
So it is a type of VLAN which is responsible for carrying untagged traffic. So
then what is this tagged traffic and untagged traffic?
Tagged traffic is it depends upon the tagging protocol, sir. If it uses like ISL inter switch link, then tag traffic comes into process, that comes into picture, which means that that particular frame is marked. There's no need of processing. Untagged means there is processing, and you have to have some amount of time can be taken there for processing, sir.
So you told that for tagging purpose, ISL is being used. So what is preferred, ISL or encapsulation.1Q is preferred?
Sir, as per the header size, I will go with the IEEE 80.1Q, whereas with the ISL, there is a problem of overhead, which means that it encapsulates the entire Ethernet frame with separate header and trailers, adding extra 30 bytes. So, but it is not about tagging or untagging, it's just about higher bandwidth consumption, sir.
So what is the size of the extra header that has been added for the 802.1Q?
4 bytes, sir.
4 byte. Okay. If we have to enable the communications between the devices located in different VLANs, how we will enable the communications?
By default, two different VLANs can communicate with each other. So in order to have communication in different location of VLANs, we can deploy layer 3 devices, that is routing, aka also known as inter-VLAN routing.
Okay.
We can deploy router and also use the concept of inter-VLAN routing, due to which two different VLANs can communicate with each other. If not router, you can also go with SVI, that is layer 3 switch, where you have to provide a command named IP routing, due to which two different VLANs can communicate with each other. So
okay. So like as you told that we can use router also, or we can use layer 3 switches also for having the communications between the devices located in different VLAN, right?
Yes, sir.
So if I am using router, so what is the differences when I go with the using multiple physical interface and when I use a router on a stick method? What is the differences between them?
A router on stick method is nothing but inter-VLAN only, sir.
Mhm.
Whereas multiple interface is nothing but multiple traffic getting carried.
So can you please explain me what is that router on a stick method?
It is similar to inter-VLAN routing only, sir.
That I got. How will you implement that?
By making router LP.
Okay, like have you heard that if on a router we have a single interface, so we can create sub interface?
Yes, sir.
And with the help of that sub interface will be acting as a default gateway for the devices located in different VLAN?
It can act, sir.
Correct?
Yeah.
What it is called as? Router on a stick method only?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So like when we give the command for this router on a stick method encapsulation.1q, after that we used to write what? VLAN ID or interface ID?
For VLAN traffic, we use VLAN ID only, sir.
Correct. Okay. Now, what do you mean by this trunking?
Trunking is the process of allowing multiple traffic in a single physical communication mode, sir.
Okay, and what is the differences between access port and trunk port?
Access port only allows single VLAN traffic, either data, either voice. Whereas with the help of trunking, multiple VLANs can be traveling and communicate with each other. So if you want to have multiple VLANs communication or transmission, you can use trunking. The thing is that in access port, by default, like only one VLAN will be the member will come into picture. But here multiple VLANs can be memberized. So can be the member.
Okay, tell me what is the differences between operational mode and admin mode of the switch port?
So first of all, administrative mode is a type of a mode where administrator will provide some kind of configuration so that the switch has to perform in certain way. If he wants to perform trunk on that particular switch, he can give trunk command in order to make sure that switch is performing under trunk only. Whereas in operational mode, it basically specifies about the current status of the switch, sir. The default administration mode is dynamic auto and default operational mode is access. In access mode, what happens, even if you perform trunk or configure trunk on a switch, it might not have that negotiation. It might, due to which other switch might be having access port and other, parameters can come into picture.
Okay, so for example, we have taken two switch. They both are directly connected.
Yes, sir.
On one of the switch interface, you have configured switch port mode trunk. Okay, so is it mandatory to give the same command on the other port of the switch
sir.
also?
By default, it will get negotiated.
Okay, with the help of which protocol?
DTP, sir.
DTP. So if I have to disable that I don't want this negotiations, how will I disable
You can
that?
disable it by giving access command, sir.
Access command or any command is there to disable DTP?
One of them is access command.
Have you heard no negotiate command?
Yes, but
can we give that?
Yeah, we can give that.
Okay, fine. So in the VTP, what is the role of transparent switches?
So transparent, it is one of the mode in VTP where we can create, modify and delete the VLAN in local VLAN database, sir. But it will not synchronize. Even though it's synchronized, it will not maintain that particular database. It will provide the advertised information, but it will not synchronize. And
okay, it will not maintain its own database,
yes.
Right? What is the configuration revision number?
In transparent, it is 0, sir.
What is the use of configuration revision number?
So it basically helps to understand any kind of changes made in switch or VLAN by, like, it will get incremented to 1 if any kind of changes are made. So this is the helpful thing about configuration revision numbers. So.
Okay, do we have any requirement or advantage of that?
As I said, it will help us to understand what kind of changes can be made or are done.
Okay, as you mentioned that we have VTP version 3, right? What is the differences between VTP version 2 and 3?
Okay, sir. By default, they both support FTDI and token ring VLANs also, sir. But VTP version 2 will give options of configuring multiple servers, whereas VTP version 3 only primary server configuration, sir. Because by accidentally we shouldn't delete the database. So it is placed in only one place or one switch so that it will not get deleted accidentally. Then BTP version password is not encrypted, sir. The thing is that it is in plain text and there is no synchronization of password, whereas in VTP version 3, much authentication, better performance is provided and synchronization password is there and encryption is also there. VTP version 2 supports only up to 1001 VLANs or standard range of VLANs in one way, whereas VTP version 3 supports extended range of VLANs. So.
Okay. Do you know what is private VLAN?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
So it's a type of a security feature in VLAN where we will, which is used for traffic management and security purpose. So in this, we can configure the port into, we can configure that particular VLAN into 3 types of VLAN, like promiscuous, then comes community, and then comes isolated. We can use this on enable on the ports in order to maintain the security for the switch. So what happens is that in promiscuous, it's a type of a port or a security feature where it will only, it is the only, like it has the right to communicate it with other types of VLAN ports, private VLAN ports as well, like isolated and community. And then isolated, sir. As the name suggests, it is isolated. It will not communicate it with other isolated ports. It will not communicate it with community ports as well, but it will communicate with promiscuous ports. Then comes the community VLAN, sir. Community VLAN is a type of a community port is a type of a port or a VLAN in which we can, it will communicate with promiscuous, but it can't communicate with isolated since that's the responsibility of isolated, but it will communicate with other community VLAN or ports, sir.
Other community VLAN, if we have different community, then it will communicate?
No, sir.
What about isolated?
No, sir, it will not communicate.
And 2 different isolated will communicate with themselves?
By default, I don't think so it will communicate.
Okay. What do you mean by UDLD?
It is unidirectional link failure, sir, or unidirectional link detection. It's a type of a security feature that can be used in STP environment in order to prevent single traffic flow, sir. So what happens is that, for example, multi switches is there in a topology, and if BPDO is being received in a particular switch, it will be in blocking port. Thinking
okay, fine.
Yeah. So there will be no loop prevention mechanism. Like there will be no loop in simple words. But if by any chance BPDO has been stopped and single traffic flow is happening, UDLD comes into picture and detects that there is single traffic flow. So it will send integrity links to in both direction, thinking that even you have to stop or you have to stop or one have to stop. But it will solve the problems by sending packets every 15 seconds. And if that, frames every 15 seconds. But if that frames does not give, like there's no response to those frames.
Every 15 seconds it has to send?
15 seconds it will send, so.
Every 15 seconds.
So within 45 seconds the response has not come, then that particular port will be considered as unidirectional and it will it will put into error disable state and then stop it.
What do you mean by this root guard?
Root guard is also another type of security feature, sir. It is a type of a feature where it prevents a formation of another root bridge in STP environment. If by chance any switch tries to become a root guard, it will put that port into root inconsistent state, sir. So it can be enabled on both interface mode as well as global mode. It blocks superior guard and then it is enabled on designated ports, sir. So in order to prevent the root bridge formation when already existing root bridge is there in the topology, this root bridge guard was introduced, sir.
Okay. Now tell me, what is the protocol number of EIGRP?
Protocol number of EIGRP is 88, sir.
And what do you mean by leak map in EIGRP?
Sir, I'm not able to recall it.
Okay. What is EIGRP stub?
EIGRP stub is one of the feature that is used to reduce queries, sir. It is either enabled on branch or edge routers. And then there are 5 flavors in EIGRP stub. First one is directly connected. Second one is static. Third one is summary. fourth one is reserved only, and fifth one is redistributed. So first I'll start with directly connected. Directly connected is a type of a flavor in club which only advertise directly connected routes, sir. No other routes can be advertised in the stub. And then comes redistributed route. As the name suggests, it will advertise external routes, which means if different routing protocols will provide their routes, these routes are advertised, sir. Then comes summary. Summarized route, as the name suggests, it is a type of a process in EIGRP in order to reduce the routing table, where it will combine multiple IP prefix into single general IP prefix. Only this route will advertised. And then comes receive only route, sir. Again, it will only advertise the receiving but will not advertise any other route. Receiving part only is only taken into consideration, sir. And then comes, yes, these are some of them.
And what do you mean by this active and passive in the EIGRP?
Active and passive in EIGRP, I'm not able to recall it.
Like active route or passive?
Passive route, I know that interface.
Like, I'm not asking what is passive interface, just I'm asking, like if you check with the command so IP IGRP topology, it says some of the routers are active or some of those are passive. So what is that differences?
The one which is right now, or the best path is active, or the passive is?
Or it is reverse?
Best path is active, passive is?
Okay, you verify with that, okay?
Yes, sir.
What is the default active timer?
180 seconds, sir.
Okay, and what about that SIA query?
Stuck in active query, sir. It is also one of the message packet it is used in EIGRP.
How frequently it is being sent?
90 seconds.
Okay, means half of active time, right?
Active time, yes, sir.
So what is why it is required to send this SIA query?
So what happens is that without SIA query, if particular, for example, R1 wants R3 route and it is sending to its neighbors telling that I want the route to reach R3, if within 180 seconds, if the reply is not come, it used to break the entire neighborship. But with stuck in...
Okay, like it is for what? Why it is sending this SIA?
Adjacency process. In order to maintain the adjacency between the EIGRP configured routers.
So like only adjacency or is there any role of query packet in that?
Yes, sir.
We have any role of query packet?
It will have to send before 0th second, it have to send the, 90 seconds it will send the query, and before 0th second, it will send the reply packet.
Okay, and what is our SIA reply?
SIA reply is response to the SIA query sent by the originator, sir.
Okay, fine. Tell me what is the differences between broadcast multi-access and non-broadcast multi-access in OSPF?
Okay, sir. Broadcast multi-access is the default network in OSPF.
Okay.
On Ethernet also, this is the default network that can be seen. It is basically helpful for dynamic neighborship as well. It is a type of a network which also like what I can say, which is helpful for DR BDR election, and timings is 10, like hello interval time is 10 seconds and wait and dead timer is 40 seconds. So this is broadcast multi-access network, sir. And then comes non-broadcast multi-access, sir. Non-broadcast multi-access, as the name suggests, there is no supporting of broadcast. We can also see that in neighborship state, that is attempt, this broadcast, it is only relevant to non-broadcast multi-access. There is no broadcast support. So this comes into picture that time. It is basically enabled or default on frame relay multi-point sub-interface or frame relay main interface. It also supports DR and BDR election, but the thing is that the timers are different. So in OSPF, it uses hello interval is 30 seconds, wait and dead timer is almost like 120 seconds only.
If I change hello timer, then dead interval timing will change or not?
No, sir.
No?
No, hello timer.
If I change hello timer, dead interval timing will automatically change or not?
Automatically, no, sir.
Okay, today you will verify that.
Okay, sir.
You will give the command to change the hello timer and you will observe it, like this dead interval timing is changing or not, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay. What is the multicast address used by DR router to send the updates to multiple different routers?
multicast address is 224.0.0.5.
And what about that other routers to the DR router?
Sir, same.
Same?
But 224.0.0.6 is used for DR, BDR. So that's the reason same.
Okay. What is the differences between DR and BDR?
So DR is it is a type designated router which has highest priority, like best path only.
If priority number is same, then what is the criteria to elect DR and BDR?
We can go for manually configured router ID. If not manually configured router ID, highest loopback interface IP. And if there is no configuration of loopback interface IP, we can go for physical IP.
Okay, fine.
Highest.
Okay. What is the role of redundancy in network?
Redundancy in network. So it is very important because there is a chance that due to network congestion or any other error detection happening in primary path, there's a chance it will be fail. And we have to route the packets. But in order to route the packets, we use best path. That is primary path. If the best path itself only fails, we'll go for the second best path. That is a redundant path. And we can route the packets using the redundant path. So this is one of the...
Can you tell me some of the protocols used for redundancy purpose?
Some of them are HSRP, GLVP, and VRRP. HSRP is a Cisco proprietary protocol where we will have two routers. One is active, one is standby. Basically, we will take highest IP as active, and second one or the other one is the standby, where it is not considered highest. And we will configure virtual IP for the client's gateway. So with the help of this gateway, clients will obviously choose this active router in order to route the traffic. But if this active itself fails, then standby will take up active functionality, and it will the client will use that path to route the traffic. By default, there is no preemption available, sir.
What do you mean by preemption?
Preemption is if active or high active fails, it means the best path fails, second best path comes into a picture. But if after any time, if best path is also working now, then
like always you are specifying best path. Generally we have the concepts of one device as active device.
Yes, sir.
And one is a standby device, right?
So if the active goes down and standby takes up active functionalities, after any some time active is also working together, it will not take up that again, it will not become active.
Okay, it will always use standby. That links the last time who was the standby. If it is active, so it will prefer that only, right? So in the VRRP, does this preemption is enabled by default or not?
It is enabled, sir.
In VRRP?
I'm not able to recall, but it is an open standard that I remember.
Okay, it is enabled in that.
Yes, sir.
What is software-defined networking?
No, sir. No, sir.
What is the differences between data plane and control plane in traditional networking?
So data plane, as the name suggests, it is a type of a plane where data traffic comes into picture. Controlling this data traffic and any kind of devices comes into control plane, sir.
Can you give me the examples?
So
routing protocol will be a part of what? Data plane or control plane?
Routing protocol will be part of data plane.
Okay, verify with that, right? Tell me the differences between HTTP and HTTPS.
So HTTP and HTTPS both are application layer protocols only, which uses TCP service. That is, their port number is 66, but protocol number of HTTP is HTTPS 443 and HTTPS 80.
HTTPS port number 443.
Yes, sir. HTTP is 80. And then what happens is that HTTP, it was hypertext transfer protocol. It is a type of a protocol where secure network is not provided, sir. For example, if a user is accessing network and that user gets a message like it is not a secure connection, that means the particular accessing of the network will be in plain text. And anytime the attack or what attacker can see what we are accessing. So it is not recommended in today's networking part or networking background. But HTTPS is a nothing but a secured version of HTTP, where the data, or if a user is accessing any kind of resources on the network, then it will be encrypted and attackers can't see what we are accessing. So it is one of the advantage, and in today's networking background, this HTTPS can come into picture.
Okay. What do you mean by DHCP snooping?
Sir, snooping is for example, there is a chance of having rogue DHCP in the network, and that rogue DHCP can have the identification of real DHCP. So it will provide IP address to the client, and they can perform the attack over that client. So this is called DHCP snooping, sir.
What is the severity level of debug message in Syslog?
7, sir.
And what is the severity level of notification?
Notification is 5.
Okay. What do you mean by SNMP?
SNMP is a simple network management protocol. It is a type of a protocol where it is used to manage the devices on the network. So with the help of this protocol, we can monitor those devices also. SNMP uses, it is a UDP based protocol which uses port number 161 and 162. 161 for general communication, that is between SNMP manager and SNMP agent, but 162 is for alert message, that is coming from SNMP agent. So it uses 3 versions: SNMP version 1, SNMP version 2, SNMP version 3. SNMP version 1 is not in use because obviously it is plain text and there's no encryption or authentication. Then comes the SNMP version 2. Community strings was also introduced in this version, and get bulk was one of the command that was used in this or introduced in this version. Same, but it also doesn't have authentication, or plain text data is only can be seen in this network. And then comes SNMP version 3.
So SNMP version 2 does not provide any passwords?
Community strings, yeah.
What is community string?
Sir, I know that it is basically in a particular network to have communication. In that particular SNMP community, we use it.
Okay. What about version 3?
Yes, sir, it is most used now. And
does it provide any authentication?
Yes. MD5 and HMAC both is there. And it is most, since it is encrypted and authenticated at the same time, that comes into picture.
What is BGP aggregation?
BGP aggregation is summarization only. So in order to reduce the routing table size, we combine general IP prefixes into single IP prefixes and consider that as aggregated summary address, where it will helpful for reducing the routing table size, less memory usage, less bandwidth. So this is the BGP aggregation, sir.
And what do you mean by BGP route reflector?
Okay. What happens is that in iBGP, if particular router learns any kind of route, it will be sent to all BGP peers. That will be like happening again and again, due to which mesh will be created. So in order to avoid this mesh, engineers came up with a concept called route reflector. So route reflector is a type of a BGP concept, especially used in iBGP in order to avoid full mesh and loop. So what happens is that route reflector is a type of a router where it is considered as a central announcer. And in this route reflector, there are 2 terms, that is client and non-client. Client, it should be configured. Non-client, where it is not configured, that particular router is considered as non-client. If a BGP route reflector gets a route from client router, that particular router will be sent to client and non-client as well. But if a BGP route reflector gets a route from non-client, then that particular router will only be sent to client but will not be sent to non-client, meaning it will not create full mesh.
What if BGP route reflector is receiving the route from the router that is located in different AS number? So will that particular route will be delivered to the client and the non-client?
Route reflector sending the route.
Yeah, my question is that route reflector is able to receive the route from the router that is located in a different AS number, right? So does this route will be delivered to the client and to the non-client?
Client, yeah.
And what about non-client?
Route reflector, it depends upon coming from client or non-client.
Just I'm telling it is coming from the router that is located in different AS number.
Okay. It can so.
Huh?
Yes.
Okay. So, okay, Vidya, it was good. So, approximately you answered all the questions, right?
Yes, sir.
So, just you have to focus on the IP version 6 and SDN,
Okay, sir.
software defined networking, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.